Chapter 2. The Mindset of Happiness. The girl, now I understand the information about happiness. However, life always has ups and downs. So how can I maintain a happy energy source? The Wise Man. Mindset is an emotional state of the mind. A person rich in mentality is someone who always maintains consistent emotional states of gratitude, relations, compassion in nature, and inner peace in mind. The girl. You mean human relations are shaped by human emotions? There are many emotions, but we should lead with the emotion of gratitude. There are 16 human natures. We just need to remember the nature of compassion, and in our mind we are always peaceful, right? The Wise Man. You remembered very well. To be happy, you need to be compassionate towards people, appreciate things, events, and people, and be peaceful in your mind. Let's make this clear together. Compassion towards people. The Wise Man. What do you understand compassion to be? The girl. It is that we are altruistic towards others, overlook their mistakes and forgive them, right? The Wise Man. Currently, we are confusing the concepts of forgiveness, tolerance, altruism, and compassion, so it makes it difficult for us to be compassionate towards others. I was fortunate to be guided by a wise man to clarify these concepts. Let me give you examples to help you visualize. For a person with the virtue of forgiveness, if another person makes 10 out of 10 parts of fault, the forgiving person will be affected to portions. Over time, the other faults diminish to 6-7 portions. The point here is that the others' faults are still plentiful, and we think that we have let go of the other's fault. But when their faults are repeated, the emotions explode. The essence of forgiveness still contains many of the other's faults. A person with the virtue of tolerance will diminish the faults of another, so that if someone makes 10 out of 10 parts of fault, the tolerance time will only be affected 6 to 7 portions. Over time, the other faults diminish to 4 to 5 portions. The point here is that the other's faults are still below average, and we almost think that the other's faults no longer exist. But when their faults are repeated a few more times, the emotions still explode. The essence of tolerance still contains some of the other's faults. A person with the virtue of altruism will diminish the faults to another, so that if someone makes 10 out of 10 parts of fault, only 4 to 5 parts remain in that person. Over time, the fault continues to diminish, leaving only 1 to 2 parts, or perhaps no fault at all. The essence of altruism contains very little fault in others. A person with the virtue of compassion is completely different. If the person makes 10 parts of fault, none of those faults affect the compassionate person at all. The essence of all compassion is that it does not contain the other's fault. It is respect, understanding, and acceptance. The girl. So forgiveness and tolerance still cling to things, right? The Wise Man. Yes. In the face of repeated mistakes, those with the virtue of forgiveness and tolerance can no longer maintain those virtues. They will still cling to and be annoyed by the mistakes the others has caused them. However, compassion is different. Compassion entails acceptance. It compels respecting and understanding the differences of others from oneself, in customs, concepts of living, beliefs, religion, race, and ways of acting. Compassion may be extended even when others do things that one disagrees with, though to a certain extent we may consciously guide them towards goodness. In other words, compassion is a mental state that does not cling to anything happening in the mind due to the impact of external circumstances. Compassion is a mental state where greed and imagination are stopped. A person who is compassionate towards others is someone whose mental state does not cling to anything in the behavior of others. Compassion is eternal love. This energy source helps people be always happy, not clinging to troubles with others. The girl. How can I get out of my head and stop clinging to the 10 parts of fault they caused? The Wise Man. To do this, you need to understand another concept, the emptiness of all things. To help you understand emptiness more clearly, let me share a story about a pen. I once heard this story from a teacher. The Wise Man. Look at this image. What are you seeing? The girl. It's a pen. The Wise Man. Is it because when you see this object, you use it to write, so you immediately recognize that it is a pen? Yes, sir, the girl said. The Wise Man. I'll give an example of a very intelligent and familiar animal to us, a dog. In your mind, what would the dog do when seeing this object? The girl. It would gnaw and play with it. The Wise Man. In the dog's perception, it recognizes this as a bone or a toy. The girl's possum. The Wise Man. To you, this is a pen. To the dog, this is a toy. So in your opinion, who is right in this perception? The girl. Both are right, sir. The wise man, correct. This object takes on meaning when there's a perceiving subject towards it. For example, when you and the dog see this object, it is true. This is a pen, and to the dog, this is a bone. The girl, yes. All things are inherently empty. Emptiness here does not mean we do not see it or does not exist. Emptiness here means that any object, event, phenomenon, or person will be one meaningless until there is a perceiving subject towards it. Even you yourself are nothing. You can only be something when your perception is attached. When you understand this, it will help you always be enlightened and not caught up in troubles. From there, you can remove self-clinging and live a happy life. The girl, what is self-clinging? Can you explain it to me more clearly? The wise man, to be happy, removing self-clinging is necessary and very important. If I were you, this would be a must to have happiness. The wise man, in the language of the mind, self-clinging is attaching a status, identity, or object to oneself, mistakenly believing oneself to be that entity and constantly living with that view. Girl, yes, I am Jessica, a mother, a wife, and a daughter. The wise man, and now I say, Jessica, are you crazy? Do you feel annoyed or upset about it? In the past, I would feel annoyed, but not anymore, sir. The wise man, if you feel annoyed, angry, or hurt, it means you have been self-clinging to your name, Jessica. Do you feel like you are a smart girl? The girl, yes, sir. The wise man, have you ever suffered when you couldn't solve a problem quickly and efficiently? The girl, yes, sir. The wise man, when you have been self-clinging to the idea that you are a smart girl. The girl, I don't thoroughly understand this concept yet. Can you help me clarify it more? The wise man, when you look at this orange, what do you see? The girl, I see orange peel, orange segments, and orange seeds. I sense the sour and sweet taste of the orange too. The wise man, if you look deeper, what else will you see? The girl, I see sunlight, water, nutrients, the tree's growth, its flowering and fruiting, the farmer's care and harvesting, the wholesaler's transportation, the vehicle used to transport them, and the selling and buying for me to bring the orange home. The wise man, very good. Do you see that enjoying an orange takes the hard work and effort of many people, yet we only pay a tiny amount of money? Imagine if we had to do everything ourselves, cultivating to harvesting all the food we need each day. Compared to that endeavor, the cost is insignificant. But because of the connections between people and each person taking on the roles and responsibility in the community, human life becomes increasingly convenient and comfortable. If illusion is understood as misconception, we must understand illusion as follows. A plentitude of delusion is foolishness. And the wise man, in fact, by existing in this world, we owe a debt of gratitude to millions of people and always receive gifts far greater than what we spend daily. I truly feel very fortunate. I cherish everything I have received from life, and I'm grateful for the gifts that nature and life have bestowed upon me. Let me tell you a story. A cloud shadows a river every day. The river loves the cloud so much because it gets to admire the beautiful cloud every day. But one day, the river waited and waited, yet didn't see the cloud anywhere, and felt very sad about this. However, unbeknownst to the river, the cloud had turned into rain and blended into it. Do you understand the moral of the story? The girl, I see. Turns out the cloud didn't disappear but blended into the river. The river, in turn, flows into the great ocean. Water evaporates again and turns into clouds. There's a cloud in the river in the cloud. Wise man, if you have this precipitation, I congratulate you. The essence of all things in the world is interconnectedness. The existence of one eternity leads to the existence of others. So we are connected entities, not separate or distinct. The girl, I feel that if I have this perception, we will simply have compassion and love for people and all things. The wise man, now look at this piece of paper. What do you see? The girl, I see trees, wood, soil, water, sunlight, clouds, rain, wind, the tree's growth, the plant labor, the workers transporting it to the factory to make paper, gasoline, means of transportation. Many things are present in this piece of paper. The wise man, if we removed any one of the elements that make up this piece of paper, would it still be present here with us? No, sir, it's amazing. The wise man, do you sense everything is prearranged, formed by the convergence of adequate conditions? The girl, yes, that's right. The wise man, that's why everyone's presence has meaning and role. Let me tell you another story. There was a baby elephant walking in the garden. He stopped and admired a very beautiful flower. Baby elephant, hello, beautiful flower. Thank you so much, flower. What are you doing? What are you thanking me for? I didn't give you anything. I didn't do anything good for you, baby elephant. You don't need to do anything for me. I'm grateful for your present. It's that simple. Your presence brings me joy and happiness. I love you and appreciate you. The baby elephant and the flower looked at each other, smiling. Their hearts were filled with happiness. The girl, the story is so lovely. The wise man. To possess as one must appreciate, to be eternal one must be grateful. The energy of appreciation and gratitude is a wonderful energy in the world. It can transform a person's life for the better. The wise man. Do you know why we are so grateful when somebody helps us once, but if they help repeatedly so we take it for granted and no longer feel grateful? The girl. Is it because we see it as given? The wise man. That's right. When we take things for granted, appreciation and gratitude disappear and resentment forms. For example, our parents always care for and worry about us, so we see it as a given, as the parent's responsibility. But out in society, even a small help from someone else makes us very appreciative and grateful. And faithfully, they continue helping us more until we expect their help or feel they have the capacity to help but don't. Resentment naturally forms. That's why we often resent those closest and dearest to us. Currently, do you resent anything? Wherever there is resentment, a sense of entitlement has formed. The girl. Yes. So how do we avoid resentment? The wise man. Don't let entitlement set in, but keep yourself by everything received from life to have deep appreciation and gratitude. Always remember, what I do for others is what I should do. What others do for me is what they need not do. Then when receiving anything, even the simplest thing, you will be moved. The girl. That's right. When we're moved, appreciation and gratitude arise. Happiness is so simple. Every passing day, I often thank myself for still being alive, having eyes to see, legs to walk, hands to work, a pretty face, ears to hear life's wonderful sounds. So many people dream of just being able to see everyone around them, see the sun, see the road, see everything. So many people dream of being able to walk, stand, run, and jump. And so many people dream of being able to hear those around them, birds chirping, water flowing, or familiar sounds on the street. The wise man. That's right. As human beings, our lives, our existence already has tremendous meaning for ourselves and those around us. The girl. I suddenly realized life is so beautiful and worth living. I'm grateful for everything I've have now, and will have. I'm grateful for my own presence and everyone's. I'm grateful for you. Appreciation and gratitude for people's presence and being grateful for the good things they bring is not enough. People are also often grateful for adversities, but the more grateful for adversity, the more adversity will come. So you need to find lessons, insights, and enlightenment from adversity, not be grateful for the adversity itself. Finding lesson, insight, or entitlement from adversity helps us always have a better perspective. When adversity comes, we need lessons to grow, not adversity itself. Drawing lessons after adversity will help us overcome problems more simply. The girl. The wise man. Do you agree with me that there's cause and then effect? The girl. Yes. The wise man, looking from the perspective of the formula of the root cause of life. The inner cause within us is the images contained in our minds. But looking at the same human structure, the inner cause within us is the balance of yin-yang, electromagneticity, and energy in the body, also called the three electromagnetic masses: bad karma, good karma, and radiant karma. Some research in the world has concluded very special things. You also know all things have their own energy sources and physical manifestations. The girl. Yes. The man. The wise man. The vibration frequencies of energy greatly affects people. Energy experience of life, humanity, the world, and the universe. Changing the vibration frequencies to have energy to become high and ultra high will give people a fulfilling life both physically and spiritually. In contrast, low vibration frequencies make people's lives worse and worse. Looking at the human structure's reference system, the state of the electromagnetic vibrations of the inner mind will directly affect the vibrational energy. So when adversity or undesirable events come to us, we react negatively at that time. Inner source has negative electromagnetic vibrations. Low energy vibration states affect our views of people and the world, making our lives worse and worse. Unintentionally, our negative reactions